everybody, it's Romania Black, and back in May of 2020, I technically did start my channel, but I had to restart it in December of 2020. So as of this year, we are starting the 5th anniversary of my channel, and one of the first series that I watched on this very channel was Given. And it feels kind of full circle in a way that as we're starting the 5th year of my channel, we are, for the time being, kind of rounding out Given. So here we are. This video has been a long time coming. I have been reacting to the anime, reacting to the manga for Given, talking about the manga for Given for several years now. And about a year or so ago, Kizu, who has been the creator of this series, started the 10th mix of Given, which if you don't know what the 10th mix is, we're going to talk about the manga here in a little bit, but I'm going to be reacting to the OVA that came with this. And it should have seemed obvious when the 10th mix, which is a subsequent series post the OG Given series, that's all I'll say for right now. The 10th mix, I was like, now in hindsight, it feels appropriate that it was basically Kizu wanting to make a volume of extras beyond the OG series. I'm like, okay, that makes sense now. That all checks out. And so I've reacted to chapters 1 through 4 of the 10th mix, but I've been holding off on the 5th and, for now, final chapter until I got my hands on this bad boy. So this is the 10th mix OVA that came out with the volume of the 10th mix. So I'll kind of put it up here where you all can see. There is the 10th mix. I ordered it online. It came in about a month ago. And the manga volume is in there, as well as the Blu-ray that is included as well, or DVD rather, but I have a non-region Blu-ray player. So I have taken the plastic off of this. I've not looked at the manga volume yet. We're saving that for a little later in this video, but I wanted to go ahead and show you all what the DVD looks like. This is the DVD that comes with it. The cover is really super cute. It's, of course, Wainayama and Mafiu, but I like the little title in English. It says on there, Glimpses of Life, Quietly Funny, Quietly Dear. I think Quietly Funny and Quietly Dear describe Given to a T at times, which I really like. The back has some screenshots that are on there, so y'all can kind of see the screenshots there. I'll get that a little bit closer so you can see that. And this has the same tag story there. Now, there are 4 little things. Luckily, I can't read Japanese, so I'm not being spoiled, but there are 4 little segments, and so I'm assuming there are 4 separate shorts. Now, here is the deal. I have a non-region DVD player, and so I tested this out this morning to be like, okay, does this have subtitles or not? It did not. And I was like, no subtitle options. They're like, screw your English. So I want to give a massive shout out, as I'm going to try to put this back for the time being, a massive shout out to Sunspots over on Patreon. Sunspots came in clutch for y'all because I did find one YouTuber that had split up the video into 2 different segments and had English subtitles, but I wasn't quite sure if it was complete or not. Sometimes when you're putting stuff on YouTube, some people are like, here's what you get, but it's not the full thing. And so Sunspots was a legend. I reached out to them this morning. I was like, hey, I'm in a pinch. Do you know where I have access to seeing the OVA? If somebody's uploaded it and translated it, put fan subs on it, whatever. Sunspot's like freaking Luffy from One Piece. They went out to the high seas of the internet, found the hard files, and were like, here you go. And I was like, so Sunspots deserves a big old, like, all of my love, because otherwise I tried scouring the internet without finding spoilers, and this just made everything 100% better. So I have some extra goodies that came along with the 10th mix when I ordered it, but we're going to look at that when we get into the manga. So the plan for this video is I'm going to be reacting to the OVA. It's about 20 minutes. There will be a link down below to the reaction so you all can see that. And then we're going to come back up and discuss it. And then from there, we're going to be reading the final chapter of the 10th mix, talking about the manga. So if you've not read chapters 1 through 4, you can go online. There's some fan sites that have them translated into English if you want to find them. If you need help finding them, send me a message over on, or post. I'll post it in Discord, but you can find them there. If you're on my Patreon, you'll see in the Discord. I'll let y'all know in the spoiler tags where you can find them. But if you have questions, then just send me a message, I guess, or send me a message on Twitter. I can respond to there. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I have been holding off until the very last minute to watch this OVA and read this chapter, because after this, for a while, we probably won't have a lot of Given. And that's really sad because this series was kind of one of this and Banana Fish were like my gateways into like legit BL. Of course, there were other series that have BL elements. I've grown up with anime that have BL elements, but this and Banana Fish were like the first two series that I were like, oh, this is actually a contextual thing. Amazing. And then it all has spiraled from there these last 5 years. So I owe a lot to Given. As you can see, I love this shirt. This is one of my favorites from the Hiragi and Akihiko movie, from the Akihiko and Haruhi movie. So yeah, I'm really Haruka. Oh my God. My brain is on fire. I'm ready for this, y'all. So let's not waste any more time. But in any case, I want to say Ugetsu. I was like Akihiko and Ugetsu, and then I was trying to mix that up with Haru. So anyway, I'm so excited, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey with Given. Let's not waste any more time. Thank you again, Sunspots. I so appreciate it. But we are going to start the OVA for Given that came with the 10th mix, and we're going to be doing that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay, before we dive into the manga, this was so cute. I've missed Given. I have missed it so much, and I'm so sad. I'm not going to talk about the 10th mix contents yet. That'll be, I'll make a little note for you all and I'll timestamp and all that. But I really hope, given that pun intended, that since this OVA was really just the extras from the 10th mix, I'm hoping that we get a full-on movie of the 10th mix. Because if it's only 5 chapters, you could easily adapt that into a movie or an OVA or something. I was really hoping when I got this that the OVA was going to be the adaptation of the 10th mix and that I would be able to watch it and then go back and talk about the chapter. But that's not what it ended up being. And that's fine. I will take any given content you give me. I will gobble it up no matter what. So... and they do a great job of making it quality no matter what they do. So I am excited by hopefully the prospect that down the road, this may not be the last Given reaction that I do. That gives me somewhat hope that they might adapt the 10th mix and that we get to see that in an OVA or movie form down the road. That would be amazing. I hope they do that. Please do that. So, because they set some things up with this OVA that I think could be explored in future animations. So that does, even though the beginning of this video, I was like, this might be the last Given reaction that I do for a long time. I hope that's not the case. I hope it's not. I hope we get more. So, as far as the OVA, there are 4 different shorts in this. To be honest, the whole part about the larva becoming mushy inside the chrysalis before it's broken down and gains wings, I feel like you could honestly, at first I didn't quite realize it was Ugetsu talking, because for whatever reason, the voice actors are not the easiest for me to identify in this. I know, clutch thy pearls. But I thought that this analogy could apply to both Mafiu and Ugetsu, because both of them, as we've talked in previous movies and in the manga, both of them are struggling with the loss of a love. And it's just that those losses kind of manifested and the trajectories of them went in different ways. So you had Mafiu, who lost Yuki, his first true love, and has had to like move forward, and now he's with Ueno Yama, and he's had to move forward from that and try to find solace and find a way to move forward and be at peace with himself. And here you have Ugetsu kind of going through the same thing. Him and Akihiko, they loved each other, and then it didn't work out. And now Ugetsu is kind of where Mafiu was at the beginning of the season of the series. He's kind of in that position of, I have to move forward. He's like, and I love the way, like, even though everything that's gone on between Ugetsu and Akihiko, I want the best for both of them. Like, I know there's some people that absolutely do not like Akihiko for what happened with Haruki in the movie, that's valid. But I do think that Akihiko atoned and he repented, and he's still doing that to this day. So I think that he's made up for it, and he loves Haruki. And so I feel like I'm okay with it because of the work he put in to get there. It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast. A lot of people are like, oh, she's just with him because of Stockholm Syndrome. And I'm like, no, he was told he was an asshole and changed his ways and became a better person for her. And I'm like, that's kind of exactly what Akihiko has done for Haruki. He's realized he was a dick and was like, I need to change if I'm going to be worthy of this person's love. And that's what he did. So I'm fine with it. And even with Ugetsu, a lot of people don't like Ugetsu. And honestly, from in the anime, I didn't like Ugetsu so much because I was like, oh, this is not good. I was like, this is not a good relationship. But then the movie, it's kind of like you get revealed that Ugetsu is just a person like anybody else. And the toxic relationship went both ways. It was toxic for Akihiko. It was toxic for Ugetsu, and they just weren't meant to be together. But I still want good for Ugetsu. I would read, if Kizu wanted to do a whole volume of just Ugetsu, like an Ugetsu story volume, kind of like the 10th mix, and just did a volume of Ugetsu's story, and we got to see Ugetsu in New York, and Ugetsu got to meet somebody and find true love there. I want that. I want that for him. And so if they would show us that, that would be amazing. But yeah, so we get to see Akihiko, and we get to see everybody kind of like starting their mornings out. And then when we see Ugetsu getting the top prize as violinist, you know, considered one of the world's top 3, and he's the 4th Japanese winner in 7 years. And then Mafiu says congratulations, and he responds before tossing the phone. Valid. He's like halfway asleep, and he's in a totally different time zone. But then he gets the congratulations from Akihiko. Now, I would like to believe, my headcanon is that Akihiko asked Haruki if he could send that or not. Because that's, you know, Haruki having to like send your ex a text message of congratulations. Would I expect my significant other to ask me if it was okay? I would want it. Would I be mad if they didn't? Maybe not. I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. But yeah, I liked this metaphor of once the larva becomes a chrysalis, it stays completely still and cannot move. I thought that that was a perfect representation for both Mafiu and Ugetsu, because both of them throughout their season, it's like they both ended up stagnant and kind of stuck at this point. And it's easy when you're stuck in a rut and things are stagnant. And this is such a good message for myself to hear, for anybody to hear. But you get stuck in a rut and you're like, oh, this is not good. I'm not going anywhere. But a lot of times when you're stuck in that rut, I guess it's weird that Ugetsu is bringing the positive message to this. I'm like, I wouldn't have expected it from him. But he's basically saying when you get stuck in that rut, it's just part of your evolution. It's just, this is you. You feel like things are stagnant now and it feels like you're not going anywhere. But in this time, you are developing as a person. You are changing. And what will happen is you will evolve and you will emerge better than you were before. You'll come out of that chrysalis as a butterfly. And, you know, contrary to that appearance, inside the shell, it's rebuilding your body at an incredible pace. The larva's legs dissolve. And at first glance, it's just a gooey mess. I'm assuming that that is supposedly Akihiko underneath him, like on top of him, but you're being reborn. Yeah. And so he's like, yep. Okay, so he was dreaming of Akihiko before he woke up there. Yeah. I wish they wouldn't smoke. That's my only thing about Given. I know they smoke in Japanese culture. They smoke a lot. I'm like, it's so not healthy for you. Please don't. But yeah, but he's like, as for the wings, that caterpillar, even inside the caterpillar, it's properly there. And he's like, me too, Akihiko. Beneath the skin all along, there were tiny wings. I love that message. It's like the message of even when you're at your lowest, just know you've always had that potential to grow, and you always have had that within you to burst out and be a butterfly. It's always been there. It didn't just happen. It's always, that potential's always been inside of you. You just have to keep going. You have to keep going till you get to the other side and get there. And I'm like, yes. Also, I like to think that that's the coffee cup he kept. And the other one was the one that was broken in the series. Also, I love this analogy here where he's like, it became completely still down there underground. Yeah, we've talked about that in the anime. When Akihiko and Ugetsu were together, they were stuck in this stuffy basement and there was no ventilation, there was no movement. It was all just stagnant. And that's when things start to become moldy and toxic. And now you have the idea that Akihiko moved forward. He lives in the top floor with Haruki. And then you have Ugetsu, who's now looking out, like opening the curtains, and there's the sunlight coming in, and it's like the wind blowing in, and it's a new day and a new dawn, and it's just so good. Beneath the finger. Yep. I love that. He's like, it's okay. Just watch and wait. I wish you'd take that phone off the ground. That bugged me the whole scene. I was like, pick that phone up off the ground. That hotel floor is nasty. But whatever. Emergence. I love it. I would read a whole volume of Aki. I would read a whole volume of Akihiko, but of Ugetsu, I'd read a whole volume of it. I love Ugetsu's character and how it's developed. So then we have the second story, which is with Haruki and Uenoyama. And honestly, this one was such like a short little extra, but I kind of like it because you would normally never imagine Haruki and Uenoyama being together because they're very different. And Haruki's kind of like, he's not the drummer, that's Akihiko, but he is kind of the glue that holds the band together. And so they go up to the mountain for this music fest. And I like that this little short reveals how meticulous and organized Haruki is. He's like, let's get things in order. Let's do this. I would respect that. Like, I would be all about Haruki being on my survival team because he would know how to run a tight ship and keep things in place. But he's also teaching Uenoyama what was taught to him, right? So Take taught him these things. Now he's teaching Uenoyama so Uenoyama can do it for Mafiu. I love that concept that Haruki has of paying it forward and just helping to help others. Like, that's one of the traits about him that I absolutely adore. But then, yeah, he's like, look, we work together and it's great. So they have this curry, which the festival's curry looks amazing. Also, Haruki having this shirt with peaches on it. I mean, it's super cute. I would have that in a heartbeat, but also the bottom relationship metaphor of the peach shirt. Just saying, Akihiko probably wouldn't be wearing it. But yeah. So one thing that I really like that he says here is that when he asks Uenoyama to pick up the trash, he's like, we need to pick up what's around us. And he says, it's not like we need to do it all, just the area around us. That to me speaks volumes about Haruki's character, because he's basically saying like, yeah, I could worry about all of these things that are around me, but I really just need to focus on what matters to me most and the people closest to me. That's such a good mentality to have, because sometimes you need to just hone in and focus on what's really important to you and say, screw everything else, not my business, forget it. And I feel like Haruki kind of does some self-preservation with that, which I really like. So good for him. Good for him. So yeah, he's like, you're being an adult, Uenoyama. Isn't that great? Also, this was so cute where he like showed the image of him and Take at the music festival. Super cute. And it was back when his hair was longer. So that was before, who knows? It might have been like around the time that all the movie stuff went down, but like to help him make him feel better. But, well, he cut his hair by that point. But yeah, super cute. I love their friendship. So yeah. Then we have the third one, which is Mafiu and Akihiko going to the sound studio, The Waltz of Love. I did not remember this one. And the way that it was animated, it elevates it so much. Like, I love that, because Akihiko and Mafiu, they're not the most compatible. Like Uenoyama and Haruki will talk. Like, they can talk things through and have a conversation. But Mafiu is so introverted and quiet and Akihiko is so loud and kind of not boisterous, but he's just very much like, I'm going to say what I'm thinking. And so on the surface, you wouldn't understand how him and Mafiu would remotely communicate with one another. But it's literally through the music. And even though Akihiko is talkative and kind of assertive, there's still like any vulnerability Akihiko tries to keep buried. Like, Akihiko does not want to show his vulnerability. Neither does Mafiu. And that's why they're kind of similar in that regard. So instead, he kind of lets it out through the music. Also, this man being able to play like every instrument under the sun, Akihiko, seriously. But the waltz number 15, when he's like, and I love that he describes to Mafiu, he's like, this classical music, I relate it to something modern. It reminds me of staying up late with Haruki, wondering if I'd be able to make it to school tomorrow. This is like making such a mundane slice of life, everyday scene be the most romantic thing in the world, where he's like, I don't want to go to school tomorrow because I don't want to leave his side. I don't want to leave bed with him. And like the glow of the TV being this beautiful romantic thing. Their beers are there. And him looking over and seeing Haruki looking at the phone. And Haruki is looking at like the poster with Mafiu. And then him turning over. And I like that before Haruki turned over, he was like leaned up against Akihiko while he was reading. That's like so cute. And then him turning back and like laughing with him. And then Mafi realizing that this song to Akihiko is a love confession of him like being so in love with Haruki. And then of course Haruki comes in and Mafi is like, this is a love confession. I'm listening to Akihiko talk about love and romance and being with this man and And Haruki's like, what? What's going on? You can play piano? And he's like, oh, I can play some wood instruments too. And he's like, yeah, that's the kind of thing someone who's good at everything would say. I just ended up hearing a love confession. Mm-hmm. And of course, Akihiko's like, don't tell him. Don't tell him what this is about. He's like, I think I like classical music after all. But Haruki probably doesn't know. And if you look on the table by the computer, there's a mug too. So it feels like these things kind of bookend Ugetsu and Akihiko, where Akihiko is like, has this, he's moved forward, he's with Haruki, he's happy. Ugetsu is on his way to being in that same boat. Like, it's so good. Yeah. The coffee mug's focusing. This shirt was perfect to wear for this. I love it. So then we have the high school student thing where this bicycle, this legendary bicycle of the high school that's been passed down through the generations. I thought it was super cute. Also, I don't blame Ueniyama for being nervous about Mafiu riding that bike. Like, there was a movie that came out. I don't want to say the title of it because as soon as I talk about this, it spoils the climax of the movie. But this guy's like riding a bicycle and it's like all of a sudden you hear a boop boop and it gets hit by the bus. It's not funny. It's horrifically tragic and shocking. But now my best friend and I, we both were like during the movie. And so now every time we think of like a scenario that could end badly, we're like boop boop. We just do that to each other, like boop boop, and just imagine the bike getting hit. Like, yeah. So I don't blame Ueniyama for not wanting that to be the case. But yeah, so Ueniyama's like, I can fix it. Super cute. But then it's like there's always the one person who catches bugs and shows them off proudly. There are dogs that catch prey and show it off proudly, aren't there? I'm sorry. Even if I loved Mafiu, if you put a dead cicada skin in my hand, I'd be like, okay, we're done. We're done. Cicadas are gross. I know that what they represent, I know they're symbolically like great and everything, but a cicada skin, the molt, no. Poor Ueniyama, my dude. So then we have Hanoka. So Hanoka is the hairstylist for Akihiko. And or for Haruki, sorry. And Akihiko decides that he's like, we need to go pay him a visit. And in my mind, Akihiko was like, I don't know if I trust this guy. We're going to make sure that he doesn't try putting any moves on you. And Haruki's like, what are you talking about? And then they show up and this guy is like, I think you should leave. Because I like that Akihiko's like, oh, let's go see him. Akihiko, that joyous and that cutesy. I'm like, ulterior motive. Look at him. Ulterior motive. I've never seen Akihiko look that adorable in all my life. He has plans. He knew what he was doing. And then, of course, Hanoka is like, oh, your boyfriend? The guy who caused you to cut off your long hair? Which, granted, if Haruki was a hair model, you could understand why you'd be frustrated. But also, I think he kind of maybe likes Haruki, and Akihiko didn't want to be jealous. So he's like, I'll just go meet I'll meet the hairstylist myself and say that I'm your boyfriend. We'll go from there. And he's like, no way. He's so handsome. And Haruki's like, son of a bitch. Haruki's like, you planned this. This was all intentional. He's like, what? What are you talking about? And then we have the little moving boxes. So Akihiko, I'm pretty sure isn't his dad German or Belgium or something? But they got him the bear. I'm pretty sure that's the custom. He's like, we call it Gogatsu Ningyo here. It's a paternal family tradition. But he kept the bear. He's like, I couldn't bear to throw it away. And I like Haruki being like, you keep that cute bear. He's like, it's adorable like you. I want you to have like a little soft side to you, so you keep that bear. Also, Haruki wearing the turtleneck. I'm pretty sure that's the same turtleneck that Akihiko wore in a previous scene. So swapping boyfriend clothes, maybe, possibly. So we end up with this one short that is the desire to live together. Hiragi and Shizu living together surprises no one. But I love that Hiragi's family was so supportive. I think they were like, you're making too much noise, get out. Both in music and other things. Get a new place. He's like, look, we got a soundproof room. I'm sure Shizu appreciates that soundproof room. In more ways than one. But this here, I think, is a tie into the manga where he's like, you guys should save up and you two should get an apartment together. Save money and rent a place together. And so curiously, he's like, you guys could afford it if you split it. And he's like, I'm not really the type that would want to live with Mafiu or anything like that. And that's such a weird thing to say in me, because Mafiu's like, what? Like, that's such a weird thing to say. And I don't know if Uenoyama just said it in the moment without thinking about how that would make Mafiu feel. Or, because normally, like, the final step of a BL is we get an apartment together and maybe adopt a kid. Like, that's usually like final phase, final boss. Like, honestly, there's not a lot of BL that I've read where they adopt a kid. Usually final boss is we move in together and get married. That's like final boss level of BL. So the fact that Uenoyama's like, oh, I don't think I want to do that. Mafiu's like, but why not? So that's interesting. And I need to go back and reread chapters 1 through 4 before we dive into chapter 5 of the 10th mix to know why that might be. Like, is it that he is afraid that if they're together? Here's the thing. We don't know what happened with Uenoyama's mom. Did she die or did his dad get divorced? So if his dad got divorced, it may be the situation where his parents like stifled and were suffocating and they had to get separated, and he doesn't want to end up in that same situation. I have friends whose families are divorced and they kind of share those reservations. My one really good friend from high school, he finally, like after like 10 years, married his girlfriend, but for a long time he had a lot of reservations because he was like, my view of marriage is kind of skewed by what's happened in my life. So I don't know if that's the case, and he knows him and Mafiu, they can get tumultuous, and he doesn't want to, he's afraid of that commitment, and if it could, sow dissent between them, he's afraid of that, or if he likes the idea of them both having their space or boundaries. I would be curious to see that explored, because Mafiu kind of doesn't really know what to do about that. He's like, I'd be fine with room sharing with Mafiu. Oh, what does he say here? Let's go back to that. I'm not the type who would want to live with him, but I'd be fine with room sharing with Mafiu if Shizu's okay with that. So yeah, he's like, I don't necessarily want to get out of my apartment, but I would share a room with him. Interesting. Room sharing in Japan. I kind of want to know. Or co-living, yeah. Yep, you have a room, but you share kitchens. Yeah. You share living in a shared house where you rent a private furnished room, but you share kitchens, bathrooms, and living areas. Okay. So basically, they each would have their own rooms, but live in the same place. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. But yeah, I just feel like that's something, and then it just ends, and I'm like, but why? So. Anyway, that OVA was adorable. I'm glad they adapted it. I hope that the 10th mix gets its own adaptation as well. But I'm going to take a quick break here and then restart this after I go back and read chapters 1 through 4 of the 10th mix, refresh myself, and then we'll come back, look at the extra goodies, and talk about chapter 5 of the given 10th mix. Okay, welcome back. I think the best way to go about this is that I am going to, without showing you all, do a speed run through chapters 1 through 4 of the 10th mix and kind of talk through it with you all about what's been going on and everything with it. And then from there, we will react to the final chapter, the 5th chapter of the 10th mix. So I think that Kizu has maybe alluded to the fact that there could be more given in the future, but who knows? Who knows? So, for right now, we're going to savor what we get. And then look there. So from this point on, there will be spoilers to the 10th mix. If you have not read, there are English translations online. You can also support the official release and get it yourself. Just know that I'm going to be talking about the given 10th mix from here on in and looking at our entry here to see what we get. So you have been warned. So I haven't looked at this actually. Okay, looking at the back cover. I mean, it had to be of Mafiu and Uenoyama with Kodama. Yes, them together 10 years later. I honestly, Kizu is genius. I'm not going to look through it yet. Kizu is genius because having the story go 10 years in the future where they're in their 20s and they're adults now is... Also, 10 years flies so quickly. Y'all don't even, if you are young and you're in your early 20s, you don't know how fast it's going to go. I'm getting ready to go to my 20th high school reunion next year, which I thought I would be going to with a walker. When I was in high school, I'm like, Eric, go to the 20th year reunion. No, I'm going next year. What? That's so bizarre. It's so crazy. I would never have imagined. I'm just like, So yeah, it goes by so fast, but in a blink of an eye. So basically, with this, the 10th mix, it basically starts out with understanding that Uenoyama is still helping out Hiragi and Shizu with their band. Given has also been on tour. They're still making music. And our crew has not changed a lot. 10 years has gone by. Hiragi and Shizu are still literally the same. Shizu, though, has been acting in some horror movies. Which, honestly, after that one encounter that he has with Hiragi, not surprising at all. But Uenoyama still likes the music, and he still loves touring and everything. One thing that we do establish in this is that, just like that little last short of the OVA predicted, Mafiu and Uenoyama, they have their own apartment that they room share together where they have separate rooms. They each have their own rooms, but they have an apartment where they stay with a separate room. And kind of like, I know on the surface that doesn't seem romantic, but really in the reality of it, you have two individuals who are musicians who maybe they need their space to work on music. Maybe they need their space if one comes in, like Uenoyama starts out in chapter 1 coming off of being overseas. He shows back up. You don't want to wake up your partner. So he's like, well, I could go into my room and it'd be fine. So yeah. But as soon as he gets home, Mafiu's like, hey, let's have sex. And Uenoyama's like, well, no, we're not going to do it. And then he's like, 10 years later, my life is still dominated by this man. Mafiu being a power bottom is a move that I never thought would happen. And here we are. He was just Mafiu being the power bottom dominant one between him and Uenoyama. I mean, Mafiu is a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. Also, I'm noticing that there is a shirt that Mafiu's wearing that says Zawa Rock Festival. Is that sweater from where Uenoyama and Haruki attended and he brought it back for him? Maybe. So anyway, we go to chapter 2, and that's where we find out that Haruki and Akihiko are both still playing music, but they are living separately because of they're doing like a long distance serious relationship. This chapter 2, where you see how excited and what a fiend, as Uenoyama calls him, Mafiu has become. And Mafiu and Uenoyama are like rivals in music that just also happen to be together. Is so interesting. I kind of love that. We'll talk about more of them fighting here in a little bit, but I like it because whenever Yuki and Mafiu were dating, Yuki was the dominant one and Yuki was the one that like shone, and Mafiu always felt kind of like, I'm not trying to make their love a disservice, but Mafiu never really got to blossom and stand out. He was just kind of like, he's like the guy at the press conference for a movie premiere and he's holding the partner's purse. Like that's kind of what Mafiu was in that relationship. And he still loved Yuki and Yuki loved and worshipped him, but Mafiu never found like his voice, literally, and didn't find his place in that relationship where he could shine. And with him and Uenoyama, even though it's a different dynamic, and even though they fight more than I think with the fighting though, whereas Yuki, they were young and in high school, and Yuki treated it as like an end-all be-all situation when they fought, Uenoyama and him, they go split up, go cool off, and then they come back. And then they're fine, right? And so, but it's Uenoyama and Mafiu being able to be equals in the relationship. Neither of them feel like they're shrinking down from the other or that they're in the shadows or on the sidelines. They're both front and center. So it's a totally different dynamic from what Yuki and Mafiu had before. So yeah, we find out Haruki and Akihiko both have rings. They're not technically married yet, but I like that Haruki calls it pest repellent, which I so can relate. I have a ring that my great-grandmother gave me, and sometimes when I was in college, I would go out to bars, I would wear it on my ring finger just to get, because I'm sorry, if someone's at a bar looking for a relationship, they will look for it, and those people will find each other, right? If you are at a bar looking for a relationship or looking for a hookup or whatever, those people will find each other. Don't worry, but this is like social cue 101. Don't go to a bar and approach a bunch of people who are just there trying to have a good time with their friends and try to like flirt and sneak in. Like nobody wants that. If we're interested, we will flirt back. But if we're just like, hey, I'm just here with my friends, leave us alone. So yeah. But yeah. And so both of them are living separately though, because of when they're performing, and Uenoyama kind of like looks back on the fact that they have a long distance relationship and how they've all become adults living their own adult lives. So, but yeah, even Akihiko and Haruki get like a little bit of spiciness going on in that moment in chapter 2, which is fun. So yeah, then we established that Uenoyama and Mafiu are still arguing about the music. They both have very passionate takes in how they want their music to go. I feel like it also helps that Uenoyama can go play for Hiragi and Shizu, because that way that lets him kind of blow off steam as well. And then Mafiu ends up going and visiting Shizu in the moment. What's crazy is that he leaves his dog for Uenoyama to take out, which is so wild to me. But yeah, he goes and visits Shizu. And then we get like a little bit of basically Mafiu getting cheered up by hanging out with Hiragi and Shizu, who are just basically like, they are the couple that started dating in first grade and then never broke up and made it work. They're like the dream couple, right? He's like, I truly enjoy acting. Shizu's saying that he enjoys acting. It's kind of terrifying, but it fits him, right? And so, yeah. And then as Mafiu gets cheered up by them and as he's leaving, Shizu's like, are you going to be okay? You guys, even after your fight, is everything going to be fine? And Mafiu's like, regardless of the type of partner that he has, Shizu says, Uenoyama-kun strangely doesn't act spoiled. I wonder why. And then Mafiu's like, even now, that serious part of him's always cool to me. And Shizu's like, okay, get out. I don't want to hear about your mushy-gushiness. So yeah, they make up. They go hang out together and everything's all right as rain. I do like that Kizu gives us an alternate ending where Shizu finds Mafiu and Hiragi in bed together and sends it to Uenoyama to make him jealous, which is funny. But yeah. So then we get like a little chapter 3.5 where we find out that Take and Yoyoi, Uenoyama's sister, are married and have a daughter, which is adorable. She's so cute. We don't get her name, but we established that they have a baby, and Uenoyama's an uncle, which is super cute. I like that Mafiu's like, is it okay if we visit? And Yoyoi's like, oh, Haruki's been here like twice already. Like Haruki's like, baby. And like, just so cute, adorable. Then we find out that Ueki, Ryo, who is their classmate, the blonde classmate, is now an office worker, and he hangs out with Uenoyama and Mafiu, and they all watch their friend Itaya on TV being basically the representative of Blue Lock for Japan. But I kind of think Wiki and Ataya could be a ship. I would read a whole manga about that, Kizu, if you want to get in on that. That'd be great. But yeah, Ataya is just this ray of sunshine, and he basically talks to Mafu about Uenoyama, and Mafu's like, Uenoyama, he's slowly cooled down. We still fight, but he's even cooler now than he was before. And Uenoyama I wish Uenoyama could hear that from Mafu, because I feel like he needs to hear it, But anyway, so we get chapter 4, which mainly focuses on them all getting ready to go on tour. This is the last chapter I had read, and so they're all pursuing they give us like a little storyline here, saying Ritsuka and Mafiu are members of the band Given and are also lovers. Since graduating 10 years ago and making their debut, they've been living professional musician lives together. The older members of Given, Haruki and Akihiko, have also stayed together. However, Akihiko, who has pursued a career in violin, now works for the Osaka Orchestra. This has led them to maintain a long-distance relationship, with Akihiko traveling back and forth between Osaka and Tokyo. While each couple is doing well, one day during a Given recording session, Ritsuka and Mafu have an argument. The two often clash over music and find it hard to compromise. After the fight, Mafu leaves the apartment he shares with Ritsuka and seeks refuge at Hiragi and Shizuzumi's apartment, which is on another floor of the same building. Yeah, that was something else. They live in the same building, just on different floors, so it wasn't much of a walk. But yeah, as Mafu listens to advice from his childhood friends, he begins to reflect and feels the pull to return home, where Ritsuka and their pet Kadama are waiting. Having grown a little more through these experiences, they continue to pursue their music and navigate their life in unique ways. But Kizu always leaves us on that but. Like, there's always more to be said. So basically, their travel to meet up for their tour gets delayed because of the train system and everything not working, and things aren't going on time. And then they end up getting to the concert. The back-to-back shows on the nationwide tour in Osaka ended without a hitch. So they end up where Akihiko is, in Osaka. And then they end up visiting Yayoi and all of them. But the bullet train gets suspended due to the rain. And they're like, oh, hey, we're all together and everything. But the problem is our dog needs to go out. So we ended the chapter. I was like, what a crazy place to end the chapter on. So they can't return to Tokyo. And so they're like, what do we do? How do we get Kadama to go out? And that's where we left off on the chapter. So yeah, I can't believe this is the 5th chapter and like the end of the volume. It's so wild. Anyway, we're going to start this and see what happens here in 3, 2, 1. Because this cliffhanger has actually drove me a little bit bonkers. I'm not going to lie, for the last several months. So let's figure out what we're getting. Oh, look at them. Look at you, Kizu. Wow. I kind of, what I love the most about this is that Haruki and Akihiko's hair looks so natural, like the soft colors. And then Hiragi is just so shining, that shining golden yellow. And Shizu's like, damn right it is. Shizu's smiling is terrifying, but I like it. Also, Uenoyama looks so mature. So does Mafiu's face looks more mature. Mafiu has a baby face. He can't help it. But Uenoyama looks a little bit more serious. In the calm of morning or the chaos of a rainy night, I find myself breathing in memories. Quit being a songwriter, Mafiu. I'm not in Tokyo. Oh no, Shizu! I'm filming a movie in a forest. Oh no. By the way, Hiragi, I'll go try calling. Oh no. I'm not in Tokyo either. I'm crab fishing on location. So basically, yeah, Hiragi probably went to the same place that Shizu is. And he's like, well, while you're filming, I'm just going to go crab fishing. Oh my God. What about calling Shizu? No, I just got off the phone with him. Be careful crab fishing. Okay, it looks like rain soon, so I'll be fine. Hiragi crab fishing is insane. Don't fall over in a tizzy either. Don't fall into the sea and catch a cold. What are we going to do? I also love Haruki's sweater, for the record. If I look up rental cars. Oh, poor Kadama! You're a guy who'll get home no matter what the cost. Do you need me to lend you the car? No, it's fine. Otherwise, your car would be stuck at our place. If you go now, you'd arrive by morning. You wouldn't even have to rush to make it. Really? I'm worried. Oh, I love Uenoyama being overprotective. I love it. It'd be the first time he's home alone overnight. Oh no, like just peeing on himself. He won't have his nighttime walk, so he probably is wetting himself. I've got to go, hurry. I like Mafiu's like, calm down. It's basically like Ueniyama, it's like Kadama is their kid. So I'm like, if Ueniyama has to ever babysit Yayoi and Take's daughter, it's over. Change your clothes, the luggage, let's go. We forgot the guitars. Oh, you're going home. I like that their manager's like, what are we doing? They left in the blink of an eye. Somehow. Them making a fuss on their way out is kind of nostalgic. When they were students, they were still minors, so we told them they needed to go home early. This is so cute. I love it. It was a commotion when we kicked them out before 10 p.m. And we'd often go home in our separate groups. That's how it was. Yeah. Haruki has a great memory. He doesn't miss a beat. I also love that Haruki's growing his hair out. It's so good. What should we do? Do we have anything to eat at home? Should we stop by the supermarket? Oh, it's still them. Okay, it's still Akiko and Haruki. The supermarket in this neighborhood is super cheap. I like Akiko's like, we could get food here while it's cheap. Aw. How about we put together a bunch of side dishes at home and watch a movie and laze around? Wow, and then it's like showing the flashback of them from before. By the way, I don't have a guest futon at my place, but you guys could share the same bed, right? I love that he's like, it's fine. You don't have to have a spare futon. I'm just going to sleep in your bed. Oh! Even as adults, we're staying up late. I'm like, oh, they're both blushing. That's super cute. Come on, you've been together 10 years. Come on. Oh, it's dangerous when it's raining, so don't speed. I know. Oh, wait, Ayama's driving? Oh, you're letting him drive? Okay, that's a choice. How about we switch halfway? Are you sure you won't fall asleep on the highway? If I sing, I won't fall asleep. Of course you won't, Mafiu. You have a strong throat. It's my pride. Amazing, right? His pride. It's thanks to you always scolding me. If you're self-aware, then you could just stop. Like staying up late and dozing off in the middle of things. You're not cold? No. Maybe we should start partway and get something to eat. And then he falls asleep. I don't blame him. Oh, is Cafe Ole okay? Thanks! This is so cute. I love the idea of them just road tripping back so they can take Kadama out. Let's switch. Are you sure you'll be okay? I'll be fine. I slept a little. You should sleep a little too. I'll put on a good radio station to listen to. I love this because it's them, like, again, talking about, like, them both being equals and both switching. It's like, and I know you can't make all relationships 50-50. That's not possible. But it's just the idea that they both are able to get behind the driver's wheel. They're both able to take the reins if they need to support each other and to help each other. Like, that's... Like, this is just such domestic slice of life couples things that Kizu's so good at doing. Oh, it's so good. If you get sleepy, make sure to pull into a parking area and tell me if you want to switch. Yeah. Get some sleep. Oh. Oh. If he does that la la la, the little melody to make him go to sleep, shut up. Yeah, he did! He did! Yes! Yes! He did it from... Oh, what a callback! Oh! What a callback! Oh, yes! Oh, there's trouble! Welcome home. They left a waterproof sheet to dry... to dry! What? Oh, because of... What does this mean? What kind of kinky shit are they doing? They need to buy a waterproof sheet! They're doing some perverted. I'll never forgive them. What was Ritsuka thinking when he bought it? Shizu's like, are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god, what kind of kinky shit are they doing? Hiragi is like a brother to Mafiu. He so is. Update on the waterproof sheet situation. That's ridiculous. Oh. Because of that, Hiragi's been scared to go to your place for the last 2 days. Well, it's normal to not come over for over 2 days. Why talk about this now? I just thought it was brilliant. I'm thinking when buying one too. A company makes it. What do you mean continued in the next chapter? What? What do you mean continued in the next chapter? Are we getting more? Are we getting more? I thought the 5 chapters was all we were getting. What? I mean, honestly, if this were the end of the manga, then I would totally understand because of the 10th mix, at least. Because, I mean, that's such a full circle moment to come back to Mafiu. When Mafiu first met Oeniyama, he was the first thing that bonded them together was him singing that little tune. And then to end this 10 years later with them driving home to take Kadama out and it's them together. Well, now I have to know, since we have the book. Yeah, since we have the book, we've got them all together. I need to know. I mean, I'm going to look at the table of contents. Oh, there is a 6th chapter. What? There is a 6th chapter? Why is it not translated on this site? What? What? Excuse me? What? Why is this not translated? Hold on. Okay. Okay, I was like, if we don't get to see this, oh my god. This is a surprise. I didn't know there was a 6th chapter. Well, that shows you what I know. Okay. The final chapter for the series, but there's supposed to be an extra once the volume comes out. Okay, well, maybe, oh goodness, nope. Maybe that will be, all right, they don't have the extra chapter there, so we'll just go with it. Thank goodness we found this. Oeniyama-kun. Oh, wow. Him on the beach in the ocean. Look at them. From night to day, from past to present, I keep on running as I think of you. Wow, I like Ugetsu is just off screen. Oh, does he have a ring? Oh, it's on his pinky, but still. Nice, okay. They all look so good. Kizu with the fashion, coming in with the fashion. Look at them, they look amazing. They all look so good. And Mafiu with the red collar and the flowers, like with the Yuki's guitar. Oh, I love it. I love it. Of course, Hiragi and Shizu are wearing the band merch, of course. And then Haruki's fashion is just on point. Love it. Okay. And here's everybody. Shizumi Yagi, the drummer, Hiragi's lover, works as an actor. His work as an actor keeps increasing. Hiragi Kashima, the bassist and vocalist, Mafiu's childhood friend, and Shizusumi's lover, the entertainer in the group. Mafiu Sato, Given's guitarist and vocalist, Ritsuka's lover. His singing voice is growing more powerful and intimidating. Ritsuka and Oeniyama, Given's guitarist, serves as supporting guitarist for Sai. Companion and lover to Mafiu, generally busy. Haruki Nakayama, Given's bassist, has long-distance relationship with his lover Akihiko, has started growing out his hair again. Akihiko Kaji, Given's drummer, Haruki's lover, it's a typo, violinist for the Osaka Orchestra. All right. So this is basically what was in the other one, yeah. On the night where Osaka's legs of the Given tour concludes, they try to catch the last train back to get to Kadama. However, due to the heavy rain, the Shinkansen service is suspended, and an announcement is made informing them the service interruptions are expected the following day as well. Once they learn that Shizuzumi and Hiragi are in Tokyo, the panic ensues. The two of them decide to rent a car and speed through the night to get back home. Oh, and that's him dreaming of Mafiu. I'm glad we get an extra chapter, but honestly, I was fine if it was going to end there, you know? Oh, Kizu's outdoing themselves with the manga. This is just gorgeous. Oh, you scared me. Sorry. It's not 5 yet. You can sleep a little more. So we find out about the waterproof blanket later. It's time to wake up. Oh, is it? Your I just woke up voice is so gravelly, Oeniyama-kun. Shut it. I did have a dream. That time back after our grad ceremony. When we... Oh, after they graduated high school, did y'all do it then? Must have been an embarrassing dream, all right. Oh, stop blushing. I'm embarrassed too. I'm not talking about that. Oh, so they did after they graduated. That was the year that we debuted. And that spring, Kaji and Haruki-san, everyone went on to graduate. I've got strong emotions around that time, especially. Kizu's always been so classy with the romance. The spice she gives, it's just on the surface, right? We had a lot of fun back then. And now it's been 10 years. 10 years? Scary. A lot has happened, huh? Like going off to get a driver's license right after graduation. After Haruki-san held you at gunpoint with how a driver's license is a necessity for band members. This is true, so I'm glad that Haruki made him get it. We actually went to the Summer Music Festival after I got that license, didn't we? That was so great. I love Hiragi in the back, being like the backseat driver. Amazing. Love that. Every single tunnel we hit, you'd ask how many meters, and I'd get all excited, Mafiu. Did I? And God, you did not hesitate to pick up bugs. Yeah, well, that's continued from the OVA. I wasn't picking them up. I was catching them. Oh. Back then, I never thought we'd end up performing ourselves. And so okay, so he did end up going, all the stuff with Haruki helping him to set it all up. He took not only Mafiu, he took Hiragi and Shizu too. They all went. Oh, I love that. Our first overseas tour was fun too. Everything was so new. Like wow, I was shocked to see how connected the world is. I even enjoyed the flight. We got to watch a movie. I love that Haruki's trying to sleep with the little cat pillow and Akihiko and Mafiu are like, oh, let's watch a movie. And Uenoyama's like terrified the whole time. There's a lot of things that gave us trouble overseas. The plane didn't take off. It held up at our baggage inspection. It was still enjoyable. If we're talking about things that gave us trouble, I'd say Hiragi collapsing. Oh, is definitely up there. He totally burned himself out. So for a while, his voice was just dead. Is that Shizazumi or Uenoyama like carrying him out? It kind of looks like Uenoyama. Shizu's face that day is one that shows up in my dreams to this day. Ooh, Shizu looking at Hiragi collapsing would be terrifying. Nope. I lost weight then too and made you worry. Sorry. Well, it happens, you know. Oh, with the rice burning. Yeah, I liked them talking about like the good and bad that's happened over the last 10 years. You haven't changed at all since then, Uenoyama-kun. You've always been kind. Oh, so it made the rice for Mafiu. Thank you. Aw. No. I feel like I haven't been able to change. Kaji, Haruki, Hiragi, Shizu, everyone has changed so much. They're still doing new things. It's amazing. I like Haruki with the glasses. I haven't changed, though. It's nothing for music for me, no. You're the one who's changed the most of all. Yes! Yes! Of course Mafiu's changed. He's like, look at him there. With those eyes. He looks so good there. Yeah, Mafiu's changed the most. You're not just singing. You've turned it into a proper performance. You've reached the point where when you're on stage, you can make any face. And I'm honestly anxious. I never would have thought from episode 1 that we would see Mafiu make those faces at all, much less on a stage. I'm so anxious. I need to keep doing something too. Because I'd be utterly stale for things. It'd be utterly stale for things to stay as they are. That's why I'm so desperate, like writing songs or dealing with my work. If I could at least do something. You're such a serious guy, Uenoyama-kun. What? I was just thinking. You're serious, you have lofty ideals, and you're only strict with yourself. Looks suffocating to me. Oh my God, Mafiu. Well, hey, but I mean, if there was more I could do, then we'd get to do so much more. I've actually given up jobs because of this. There's more we can be. Even if you do music to accomplish something, don't you? Are you telling me you don't need any more of this? Any more than this? Yeah. Oh. Honestly, there's nothing more that I need. Oh, wait. Well, there's no way that's true. Quit being so draconian. But it is. You're good even if you die all of a sudden now. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, I am. Because my life already holds more than enough value. Oh. I want us to stay together until we're all wrinkly, and I want to keep playing music with you. That would be great. But we were in school when you called out to me. We got to play music together. We went on to send our first Kadama off into the next life together. And we went on to live together. Oh. Our first Kadama. Oh, this Kadama is not the first. Oh, I was like already on the verge of tears, but that's got me. I was like, Kadama seems so young, but you know that dog is really old. No, this was a different Kadama. Oh, that breaks my heart into 1,000 pieces! That's more than enough. Oh. Thank you for finding me. When it comes to you, your life already holds more than enough value. But it seems that I do, after all, want to make music with you until I'm completely spent. Wanyama-kun! Wanyama-kun. Wanyama-kun. And that's a scene where we got to see it from the other perspective of him getting him the coffee. And that's why he dreamed back to that moment. Oh, in their apartment. Oh. 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 Oh, with Kadama. Oh my god. Oh. I was not ready for Dead Dog Days. I was not ready for that today. I was not ready for this today. That's my dogs. Oh my god. And then the little Kadama 2.0. Kadama 2.0. Oh. Yeah, you cry. You cry, Wanyama. You should cry. Ugh. Then let's make music until we're completely spent. Until we're sick of it all the way. Let's listen to the new song when we get home too. Because you know, Wanyama-kun, I like it when you're the very first one to hear them. And then he's there in the bed. Oh. my god. Evil spirit, go away. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my. He's giving just a little bit more bear cub than his predecessor. True. How's the band? How's everyone doing? We flitted around here and there on tour, and it feels like the days pass by in a flash when I'm singing. That's why even now, I'm dying to try letting my voice out here. I'm glad to still see that you're still doing nicely in your absurdity. Oh, Getsu, look how beautiful he looks. In a cathedral, of course he is. Ah. What does that mean? Oh, it's just that you're so very you, Mafiu. Are you headed off somewhere right after this concert again, Ugetsu-san? Yes. I'll stream your guys' performance on my flight. Oh, there's Wayne Yama-kun. Oh, you'll be watching our show at the festival in 2 days then. I'll do my best. Good. Well then. Until we meet again someday, somewhere. Because I'm sure I'll be bowing at these strings until I die as well. Yes. Until we meet again. Oh. Shut the frick up. Shut up. Just stop it. Oh. I'll definitely look at the bonus thing, but that's the perfect ending to the 10th mix. That's it. I thought that chapter 5 was good. No, this one is, oh my god. This one's so good. This one's so good. Shut up. Oh. And it basically gave me everything that I wanted with Mafiu and Ueniyama, because of all the pairings, they've been the least, like, in terms of spiciness. Kizu gives us spice with Hiragi and Shizu, and with Akihiko and Haruki. But with these two, it's very few and far between. And so there's been so much mystery tied up around the two of them where I'm like, are they really going to be together forever and whatever? And I've been waiting for Mafiu to kind of like assuage and ease any of Ueniyama's worries. And this was that moment for him to be like, look, I love that Yuki is always going to be there, but this was the chapter of all times to cement that Mafiu being like, no, how you are, Ueniyama, is everything I need. My life was without value for so long after losing Yuki, and you came and you gave it value, and you just being you is all I need. I don't need you to be famous. I don't need you to keep evolving. I don't need you to be anything other than what you want to be. You don't have to do that. You can just be you, and that's enough. And the idea that he's like, you've helped me become a better person. Oh, the Kodama thing breaks my heart, where he's like, when we've lost our first Kodama, you helped me through that. Oh, that makes my heart just break into 1,000 pieces. If they animate that, I will lose it. No. But like the montage of all of them being together is so beautiful. Like it's such a perfect way. And it like gives you an idea of what they've done the last 10 years together and being together and having Kodama and a damn clock on the wall by when he lost him. Oh. And then getting the new little Kodama. Oh. It just melts my heart into 1,000 pieces. That is so worth the wait. So worth the wait. So I'm looking in here and seeing, yep, all them together. Yep. And then driving back home. I can't believe Hiragi passed out. I'm glad that, like, we got a glimpse of what Shizu's face was, but, oh my gosh, this is just that scene. Oh, and them together on the spread. This is why, like, the digital media doing the reactions is great, but, like, having the physical media and seeing this is so worth it. And then Ugetsu just looks so good. Ugetsu's style has changed a little bit. The only thing I will say is Ugetsu looks more like Mafiu with black hair in Kizu's new style. I'm not mad at it, but they look a little different than they looked in Kizu's old style. So there's like a little tiny Oh, there's some character stuff here. And some stuff about the characters there at the end. Kind of what was left over there at the end. Okay. And then I'm guessing the bonus thing that they're talking about, this is so good. And then now the whole thing with Kodama being the new Kodama, or is it the old Kodama? I think it's the old Kodama. No. Cannot. That just, as a dog lover, that just makes my heart break so much. So I got this. This came with the new volume. There is the exact, oh, it is. I didn't look too closely at it because I didn't want to be spoiled. This is a little insert that is the last cover page of chapter 6. It's like all of them together. That's super cute. That's probably going to go up on my board up here that y'all can't see. And then it also came with an insert sleeve of this little bonus comic that's literally one page. So it shows Wainiyama and Mafiu, and then it shows Haruki. Oh, I guess that Wainiyama's like, I'm going to learn the piano. That's going to be my new skill. I'm going to learn the piano for our songs, which in the OVA, when Mafiu was realizing about Akihiko having the waltz be his love confession, maybe Mafiu will be realizing that with Wainiyama as well. That's so good. Oh, I know Kizu said that the 10th mix was like the last of these stories, but give us 20th mix. Give us the 20 mix. Give us the 30 mix. Give us everything. We're here for it. Give us the Ugetsu mix. I need the Ugetsu NYC mix. I need the remix of that. I need any more given material you want to give would be amazing. So yeah, this was so good. Thank you all for indulging me as I look at the 10th mix, chapters 5 and 6. I'm glad there was a 6th chapter. Glad we did that. And looking at the OVA, this was so much fun. I am always going to be on the lookout for more given content. If we get new chapters, if we get new volumes, if we get new movies, whatever, if they adapt this, I will watch it in a heartbeat and sob my eyes out. So there's that. But yeah. Anyway, this was so much fun. I'm so glad you all watched it with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If there are new given materials coming out, I will keep an ear out for them. I don't want to do individual chapters with this series because the chapters go by so fast. You literally have to just get the volume. And I'll wait for it if I need to. But hopefully they'll animate this last part because could you imagine a 10th mix animated? We need it. We need it. Get on it. So anyway, I'm excited to hear your comments down below. If you're on Patreon, thank you so much for being a patron. You are amazing, and I so appreciate it. Sending you all my love. If you are not on Patreon, go check it out. See if it's for you. See if you want to support me over on there. And if you can't, then please like this video. Leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel, and you'll get to see some more reactions for the rest of 2025 and into 2026. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next time with some more reactions.